Guys, what's poppin'? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Of course, Chelsea News is the daily series here on the channel where I reflect what's being said about Chelsea across the internet. I give you my thoughts on it. More importantly, I always ask for yours. Of course, the big talking point of Chelsea remains the goal scoring. We create a lot of big chances, often play well in games, and there is generally a positive trend in how Chelsea Football Club play. Of course, Chelsea drew a blank last night, 0-0 against a very good Aston Villa side who had 12 days to prepare as opposed to Chelsea's 2 games to prepare. But despite that, Chelsea still massively outplayed Villa in that first half while they still had the legs, the energy, but they did not capitalise off playing well, and therefore the striker talk is coming up yet again. If you are interested in my detailed thoughts of that game, and there is talking points from that game, you're welcome to go view the previous upload where I get into that result. Today we're talking about Michael Olise. Chelsea's still looking at him. Look, I love the player, but we've got Cole Palmer on the right as a left footer, we've got Noni Madueke on the right as a left footer, and even the divisive Raheem Sterling can play there as a right footer. I think we have other priorities. Some good news with everyone across the Chelsea fan base agreeing that Georgi Petrovic is Chelsea's number one. We'll do a little bit on that as well. And a story coming from Court Offside that Chelsea are actually looking at a man that was at Stamford Bridge last night playing against us in Ole Watkins. That certainly is very interested. Why would he go from there to Chelsea? We'll hopefully find out that. And we can ask the general question about a striker in the next couple of days or whenever the frickin' window shuts. Guys, I'm pushing 180,000 subscribers, which to me is a massive milestone. I've been reflecting a lot recently and I'm very, very thankful and appreciative of the community that I've cultivated here on Football Therapy over the last few years, man. It's been years. You know, you and me together for years. Anyway, if you are a returning visitor who is yet to subscribe, I'd urge you, subscribe. Hey, all of you, subscribe. Hit the bell. Let's see if we can get over that milestone and beyond. Other than that, I'll thank you for liking the video, and let's hop into some Chelsea news. Let's start off with Georgi Petrovic, because this is a good feel-good story. You'd have to say, ladies and gentlemen, going about his business quietly, making excellent saves, looking calm, not looking flustered, not flapping at crosses, and generally passing the ball really, really well. Of course, we got this guy for like £18 million, 1.8, which even seems like quite a lot to spend on a goalkeeper from the MLS, but it looks like he's Chelsea's number one, or certainly should be, to the point where you'd imagine, well, certainly Chelsea fans, but maybe even people at Chelsea as well, would feel nervous about putting Rob Sanchez back into the starting lineup. Look, man, it's a cruel, cruel world out there, and it's horrible to lose your job to injury, but the truth is, he hadn't 100% convinced all of us yet. This is not like, you know, an Alisson or Thibaut Courtois or Edison, you know, going out injured. Rob Sanchez was still on trial, and he hadn't 100% convinced everyone. Whereas, of course, Georgi Petrovic has got his chance, man, and he's just doing really, really well. And I said here on the channel, I was reflecting of stories from The Athletic before he'd even played for Chelsea, that his camp, Petrovic's camp, was certain he was going to become Chelsea number one. Their position was, yeah, he didn't cost that much money. Yeah, he came from MLS, and yes, you've got a Premier League proven goalkeeper in Rob Sanchez, but when he gets his chance, look out, because he's gonna, you know, capture it. And he has! Still early days, of course, and I am mindful to reiterate the fact how he hasn't faced like a vengeful Erling Haaland yet with, you know, Kevin De Bruyne loading the cannon, but the truth is, playing in terms of what's in front of him and making excellent saves and not looking flustered, especially when you're outfield team in front of you isn't doing the business in terms of converting chances, to still maintain composure and keep clean sheets. It's huge, and you can build off of that from the back, and eventually that confidence will bleed forwards to the front of the pitch. Hopefully. Anyway, I'm very, very pleased with Petrovic. I'm sure many of you guys are too. So let me know what you think on Georgie down in the comment section below. And let's move on and talk about Michael Olise. So a report coming from football.london that Michael Olise is still being looked at by Chelsea. Cy Phillips as well has written on his Substack that yes, Chelsea are still looking at Michael Olise and are intending to reopen negotiations in the summer. Of course, we tried to sign him last summer transfer window. Palace got incredibly upset with us for tapping him up, threatened to sue us, we backed off, he extended with Crystal Palace. Ultimately though, in the long run, this is just protecting his value as an asset. He almost certainly will be sold in the summer. Now, this article from Football.London goes on to explain that despite Olise as a Chelsea academy boy, I think between the ages of 7 and 14 he was at Chelsea, he's a massive Manchester United fan and would probably preference going to Man United. I know, such a shame. But the truth is, do we need Michael Olise? I mean, I struggle saying no to this kid. It makes it so much easier that we have what is seemingly a generational baller in Cole Palmer on the right wing there, and he does his best. I know people say in the number 10, but I genuinely think starting from the right wing and drifting inside, that's his best work. And that's exactly what Chelsea wanted Michael Olise for. A left footer who starts on the right wing, who's comfortable drifting inside, and he's a similar age to Cole Palmer. You know, you could argue, oh, it would be amazing, team moving forwards. You could probably start both of them, one in the 10, one in the right, they could swap. Yeah, great, but the truth is, it is just not a priority. We have Nkunku coming back, we have Noni Madueke that looks like he can develop into something special. Probably, maybe, he just needs a chance, some time, and some coaching, and then you can have him on the right and Cole Palmer in the middle. Granted, with Noni Madueke, he's not as versatile, you don't really see him drifting into the middle, and he certainly doesn't play left wing. He's kind of like right wing or bust, which in this modern age, you want versatile players that can switch positions. We know, of course, Sterling can play both wings, Cole Palmer can play on the inside or the right, and Nkunku can play all over the gaff, so that's kind of limiting and debilitating for Noni. But despite that, I don't think we need to be spending what will probably be a lot of money on Michael Olise next summer. And of course, Man United need him more. Sancho's not going to come back and play for United unless they sack Ten Hag. But as it stands, they won't. And of course, they've got Anthony, and we don't really need to speak much about Anthony. They probably will try and get rid of him and see that as a massive financial mistake. So they need that right winger. And I would hate for Olise to go to United. But if he's a United fan and wants to go and play for them, fine, go. Do your thing, brother. And in the meantime, we move. Our main problem, we all know it, is striker. We've got young, talented attacking midfielders. We've got central midfielders. Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher for now. Lavia going to come back one day. Who knows what's going to happen with Leslie Ugochukwu. Cassidy is back. Santos is going to return. Kendry Pyers one day. Everything's fine. Maybe, but be okay. We got loads of young centre-backs. We might even buy one more. Maybe another Palace player in Mark Guehi. Another former Chelsea Academy graduate. Man, they are everywhere, aren't they? But I digress here. The problem, yes, is centre forward. And that's no disrespect to Nico Jackson, who looks like he could do bits, certainly as a second striker. And who knows, maybe even a more important role as time goes on. He's got time on his side to develop. But yeah, a senior striker. Anyway, Ole Watkins is being mentioned, which is really interesting, and this story's been published on Court Offside, so let's hop over and read a little bit from that now to find out what's going on. Chelsea are keen on improving their attacking options at the end of the season, and they've identified Aston Villa striker Ole Watkins as a target. The 28-year-old has established himself as one of the best strikers in the Premier League, and he has 14 goals and 10 assists across all competitions this season. I mean, that is wild, but he's also playing in the Europa Conference. Watkins could prove to be an exceptional acquisition for the Blues, but he is likely to cost a premium. The England international has a contract with Aston Villa till the summer of 2028, and the Premier League club will demand a substantial fee for their best player. Yeah, is he their best player? It will be interesting to see if Chelsea are prepared to break the bank for him. According to a report from Team Talk, Chelsea are keeping tabs on Ivan Toney, as we know, probably won't come to Chelsea. John Duran, as we know, young, talented striker, probably not our solution. And Benjamin Sesko, who I would actually put in a similar category to John Duran, although has more experience. Can I just pause it at this point and say, years ago, on this YouTube channel, you could probably find it deep in the vault somewhere in my thousands of videos, I did a video on Ivan Toney to Chelsea. Yeah, I would have done that before, but Ole Watkins to Chelsea. Before he went to Aston Villa, so when he was still playing for Brentford, I think Ivan Toney replaced Watkins at Brentford. So yeah, it's all linked. And he scored loads of goals in the Championship. At the time, Chelsea were less mid-table mediocrity, but we spent less money as well. It's funny, like, we go to the mid-table, and that's when we spend £100 million per player. Strange how things work out. Still, I reacted to a story linking Watkins to Chelsea years ago, way before he went to Villa. Just a bit of interesting insight there. The Blues will need to solve their attacking problems if they want to compete for major trophies, and signing Watkins could improve them immensely. The 28-year-old is well settled in the Premier League, and he could transform Chelsea in the final third. Apart from his ability to score goals consistently, he will help create goal-scoring opportunities for his teammates, and with his hold-up play. Aston Villa are currently pushing for the Champions League qualifications, and if the West Midlands club manage to finish in the top 4, signing their best player could prove to be extremely difficult in the summer. Watkins might not push for an exit either. He will want to compete in the Champions League with Villa if that's the case. Yeah, also, he's playing well, scoring all these goals, making assists in that setup. It might get him back into the England team. Is he already in the England team? Yeah, probably will get a call up anyway. Point being, why would you want to jeopardise that unless it's for a major money increase, and obviously his last big salary of his career. But then again, you've got to ask, will he get the last big salary of his career? Chelsea have got this new salary cap when we're paying 100k, per player and trying to put young players on there. And that's another thing. Dude will be 28, 29. Will he want to sign a 2-year deal on low wages for Chelsea? Will Chelsea eventually break their transfer rule? Look, man, Ole Watkins is amazing, and yeah, the article's right to say that he'll create chances, but we are creating chances. It's a myth Chelsea aren't creating chances. I keep saying it in recent videos. Chelsea have the second most big chances created in the Premier League, behind Liverpool. So more than Manchester City. Chelsea are creating chances. We just need a finisher. So look, mate, don't get me wrong, make no bones about it. You slam dunk Ole Watkins into this Chelsea team, problem solved. I said in my match review yesterday, if he was playing for the other team, Chelsea have that game sewn up by half time. It just seems unrealistic for all the aforementioned reasons in that article of like, how could Villa let him go? Does he want to leave Villa? Do you break your own new implemented structures in terms of age profile and wage limits to bring him in? And many of you will say yes. I mean, to be honest, like, there'll be people, and it might not be insane to make this claim, saying Ole Watkins is more suitable and a safer bet to Chelsea than, like, a Victor Osimhen. He, of course, scored a few goals in Serie A. It looks like a good player, slightly younger. It's really, really tough. You just don't know what you're getting for Italy. So let me know what you think of Ole Watkins in the comment section. But I do want to spend the last segment of this video talking about the final days of the transfer window and a short-term striker solution. So of course we've got a few days left, and historically Chelsea have often shocked the world in the final dying hours of a transfer window before the window slams shut. But this is a new Chelsea, and of course we did do loads of business last January, and we even did late business in the summer transfer window, of course getting Cole Palmer as well. But Chelsea might not do anything at the end of this window, and I think Pochettino is prepared, well, surely he's prepared for that eventuality. He probably knows, okay, that we're training Cole to do a job up there. Breuer might eventually sort himself out. Nico will eventually return from AFCON. Again, Nkunku we could play up front as a striker. It's so insane to me that we're about to get into February and we just haven't seen Nkunku in the Premier League. We saw him come off the bench, saw a goal, and we went, oh, in a loss. And that was kind of it. That is wild to me. That is our Galactico superstar signing, and obviously not by far not the most expensive. He's only like 50 million, but he is like one of the elite European players, like proven players, like in the France international team, linking up with Kylian Mbappe. When he's fit, he's a starter. Winning titles in the Bundesliga, winning top scorer in the Bundesliga. He's played for PSG as well. This guy is elite, and we haven't even seen him. Every now and again I just deep it and it blows my fragile little mind. But I do think, man, that the fact how we're gonna have a replay of Aston Villa and like probably within the next 10 days or whatever, whenever it is, it's usually quite soon, isn't it? We are in the FA Cup. The Carabao Cup final. It's a final, bro. We are still pushing for a better league finish that hopefully can break that top 6. Why not? But it's for me, just take the gamble on high wages. Just get any senior player in there. There's so much to play for. There is so much to play for still. Considering we're not on any European competition, granted we're not in a title race or probably in a top 4 race, despite that, there's still so much to play for, and the problem's so glaringly obvious, and we're not even saying buy like freaking Harry Kane, or someone ridiculous. It's like, and it doesn't have to be a Karim Benzema, if that doesn't, And if Callum Wilson is available for 18 million quid, and he will say like, okay, look, we'll sign you with on an 18-month deal with an option to extend a year. So there could be 2.5-year deals. If you do well for Chelsea, you'll be 33 then. You go Saudi or something, or lower league, Premier League team. You're 33 then. Just do that, man. Look, Callum Wilson is not going to demand Osimhen or Ivan Toney money. He doesn't start for Newcastle. There's a better striker than him in Isak, but he is a senior, sensible striker. 18 million quid. Again, if we had Callum Wilson yesterday, we win that game and we're through to the next round of a cup competition. It's just worth it. I just wanted to say my piece. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you for joining me. Remember, we're trying to push for 180k subs, so do consider subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. I look forward to reading your comments. And yeah, keep it real. See you soon. Peace.